Entertainment presents Bob and Jay's Pro Football Podcast with your hosts Bob, Katie, and Jay Schmidt.
Welcome to week 6 of Bob and Jay's Pro Football Podcast.
Welcome.
Good week this week.
Yeah.
We're both happy.
Yes.
Maybe not next week, but this week we are. We'll enjoy it while we got it.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah. We'll take it. Yeah. We will take it. Yeah, well, I guess talk about injuries and stuff like that as we go through the games, because there were some big-time injuries this week.
Yeah.
That is definitely going to shift some momentum for some teams. Although I think the biggest one with Jamal Charles isn't going to shift anything for Kansas City.
Yeah.
They're just blech.
Yep.
That's
yeah.
all.
Disappointing.
Yeah, extremely disappointing. New set, as you can see.
Yep.
It seemed like it went pretty good. It took me a little bit longer to edit last week's podcast for doing it through the Skype, but once I got it together, it seemed to go pretty well and everything. So that was an interesting thing, but
yeah,
it was good to have for the emergency purposes,
right?
To get it done. Get it done.
Yep.
And we did it did that podcast in a short time while John was constructing this set behind us while we were doing it over there. Well, let's dig into it.
Yeah.
Week number, we're doing week 6 podcast, but we're going to do the week 5 picks. And we'll start off with Thursday's game. Colts 27, Texans 20.
Yep.
I think we both picked the Colts on that one, didn't we?
I had Indy. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, even though that was a tight game.
It was.
That was extremely tight game.
Yep.
That was, right at the bat, I was like, they might not win this. But you got to say, doing it, they've now Hasselbeck 2 games, 2 divisional games, and he's won both.
Yep.
Matter of fact, he might have looked better than Luck did all season long.
Yeah, 18, 29, 213 yards, 2 TDs.
Yeah, he did good.
Colts extended their AFC South streak to 16 games. Which is an NFL record.
It's going to take me a lot to not take the Colts in a AFC South divisional matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, that you would be just crazy. Somebody's going to break that streak.
Yeah.
But and the Texans just look like they can't catch a break.
Right.
They do not look ready.
No.
For
at all.
And this whole thing of like, what quarterback do we play this week?
Yep.
I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah.
It's too bad too. It's one of those teams that their running game isn't that bad, and with DeAndre Hopkins, he's great.
Yep.
The problem is just getting a guy that can deliver him the football.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, and I just don't understand the Texans defense.
Mm.
This has been one of the better defenses the last couple of years, and it's like they've fallen off the planet.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't understand it, especially when you got J.J. Watt. I hope he doesn't just linger around and then, by the time they get to winning again, he's done with. He's old and everything, because although it doesn't seem like he's had as much of a spectacular season as he did last year, and you tend to wonder if their success last year was built on how spectacular he was.
Yeah.
Because he was taking over games last year.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, he was.
It doesn't seem like he's doing as much this year with it. Saints 17, Eagles 39.
Mm.
Saints are like both teams are like night and day.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Saints went back to looking like garbage after who did they play the week before? Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
They looked pretty good against the Cowboys.
Yep.
And the Cowboys aren't bad. Despite obviously the quarterback problem.
Yeah.
They're the rest of the team, that's a great offensive line. The defense is pretty good, decent. and everything. So you figured the Saints maybe had made some corrections, but
Yeah, they're still
yeah, not so much.
not so.
And the Eagles just exploded.
Yeah, and they snapped a 3-game home losing streak, going
Yeah.
back to last season. So
I was gonna say I was gonna bum on that, but Buffalo is probably gonna lose this week because they've got all sorts of quarterback injury issues, and that's gonna make them 3 losses at home this season. Yeah, which is we're going to be a better road team than we are home team, which I just don't understand in the NFL how that ever works.
yeah,
Bears, Chiefs. Well, here we might as well talk about it right off the rip. Jamal Charles out for the season with
Yeah.
the ACL tear. It is
Yep.
the other knee that he hurt before.
uh-huh.
So I guess at least that's something.
Yeah,
It's not the same
not
knee.
the same knee. Yeah,
So that works. I guess as far as that is.
I think even more surprising was that Chicago beat them. But
Yeah.
that's, and at KC, that's
And that's one of the toughest places to
Right.
play.
yeah,
Yeah, KC. At this point, I think KC is just they're going to have to try to get it together to play for some kind of moral victory for the
Yeah.
season. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Just to go into the 2016 because
yep.
I don't see them. I especially with Jamal Charles now going down.
Yeah,
Now I heard. Now I don't remember. They have a backup quarterback, and I can't remember his name. Damn it! I wrote it down somewhere, and I don't know where I wrote it down. Their backup quarterback, though, like big time, they think he's going to be really, really good. And my thought is, Alex Smith is terrible right now.
yeah,
Why not just put this kid in and just see what he can do? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Give him, get him in there. Sprinkle him in there.
yeah,
Give him a game or two. I mean, at this point, the tear that they're going to have to go on is ridiculous.
yeah,
There's just no way.
yep.
There is no way that they're going to, especially with that division. The Raiders aren't
Right.
easy. Denver, of course, is not easy.
Yeah,
And the Chargers, regardless of them not being the greatest, they're still they're not easy.
Yeah.
None of that division. Now that the Raiders, I think, moved up a little bit this year.
Yeah.
That division just isn't easy
right.
like it used to be. Like it used to be like, you get down to the Raiders, it's like, oh, they're an easy win.
All right.
But not so much anymore. And the Bears are just, well,
Yeah,
yeah, they're dumpster fire-ish in my book. I don't care if they won or not. They're that was one dumpster fire to another on that
Yeah.
point. Seattle 24, the Bengals 27. The Bungles coming back on Seattle, and the Red Rifle there is just Andy Dalton is just. They're talking like early MVP talk with him,
Yeah.
which surprised the shit out of me.
he'll blow it.
Jay still has that resolve against the Bengals.
He'll blow it.
I hope they blow it this week.
They
I
could.
do.
They could. Could happen.
Yeah, I'm not betting on that. But yeah, I get, the Bengals defense didn't look all that great. I tend to wonder if that was a matter of what went wrong with the Seahawks.
Yeah, I don't know. That kid ran for. I didn't write it down, but I know he had over 100.
Yeah.
Too. That what the hell's his name? Rawls, I think is his name.
Yeah.
From Seattle backup.
One of the I was reading tweets right before we started recording this, and one of the Bills reporters had chatted with Fred Jackson earlier this morning, and he said that the Bengals were very, very susceptible to the run.
Yeah.
Their defense. He said the Bills can definitely get their running game going against them. So that'll be.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a savior. That would be a savior for Buffalo. But Seattle, yeah, I don't know why Seattle collapsed like that.
Yeah, I know. 17 points in the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah. The Legion of Boom is more like Legion of. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing. There's no boom involved. It just feels like It feels like Seattle has that the talent's all still there. It just feels like they're just not firing on all. They just can't get it all to fire at once. No. I expect them at some point during the season, hopefully before it's not too late for them, to start clicking on all cylinders. Because they just have too much talent that still exists from the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Not to. The Redskins 19, Falcons 25.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else to say about that except
not really. I mean, Washington or Atlanta's 5-0.
Except Kirk Cousins, don't throw that pick six. I guess his wide receiver slipped or something though.
Yeah.
From what I understand, it wasn't his fault. I didn't get to see the play as it happened, and the replays didn't show the fall. But from what I understand, his receiver went down, and then it was easy pickings.
Yeah.
For that. So I mean, the Redskins are the Redskins, and the Falcons just keep trucking along. Although injury update, Falcons Julio Jones might not be playing this week. So that could be, considering he looks like he's been a major part of their offense. Although they got their running back, though, who's been doing really well.
Uh-huh.
And why do I forget his name?
Yeah,
I'm so terrible with names. I got to write crap
so
down.
many names.
Yeah, I know. But he was with them last year, and he seems to be doing really well running the football. Jaguars 31, Bucks 38.
Yeah.
You know, going into this game, I felt like I wanted to switch my pick because I was like, you know, I felt like the Jags were at least come up to that even. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they might not be quite the heel of the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
But the only reason, and I believe last week I said the only reason I took the Bucks was because it was at home.
Yeah.
And that might have actually been the thing
yeah,
that got him
probably.
through it.
Yep.
Browns 33, Ravens 30.
Yeah, Cleveland.
Yeah. Good for
win.
Cleveland. You feel like the Ravens are just hanging on by like a fingernail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just wonder how they won the games they've won.
Yeah.
Which aren't many.
They McCown 457 yards, a Cleveland record.
Yeah.
And that tight end, did you see that catch he made between his knees? He's like, that was good.
Harbaugh was not amused at that.
Yeah, that was good.
Everything, all of a sudden McCown looks like he's just shooting, lighting it up and
Cleveland
stuff.
gets like that. They can be a little pain in the ass sometimes. But.
Yeah, I think the Ravens are just running out of warm bodies.
Yeah.
It feels like wide receivers, defensive backs now.
Well, they're saying Steve Smith may play this week, so that would be good.
Yeah, they're going to need it, man.
So.
Get that old guy some insurance stuff and get him going.
Yeah.
Get him some geriatric meds and get him moving. Buffalo 14, Tennessee 13.
Mm-hmm.
I did pick Tennessee, and I was almost right. For three quarters, I was right. That's for sure.
Yeah.
The Bills' defense, I think the Bills' defense are still top 5 defense. I just think everybody was so glossed over the last 2 years with the sacks.
Mm-hmm.
But they held the Titans. I mean, they pretty much locked it down. The one touchdown that the Titans scored is because our guy fumbled on like our 25 or something. And, you get like that, and I don't care how good of defense you are.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, so I think the Bills' defense, especially Stephon Gilmore at cornerback and the other cornerback, the rookie Darby, those guys are playing Revis level football where they're locking it down.
Yep.
They are locking it down. It's amazing how much they are. But they held basically the defense held this whole game together for 3 quarters until the Tyrod just released and just took over the game, which he did. Another injury alert as we go to recording this. Was it Joe Johnson? Is that his? Yeah, that's his name, Joe Johnson, the quarterback that the Colts released from last week. The Bills signed him because they're saying Tyrod Taylor has an MCL strain and might miss a few weeks. They're not saying anything definite yet. So, man, if they were going over to London to play the Jags, I wouldn't feel as shaky. But going to play the Bengals, even in Buffalo at home, if they don't get Sammy Watkins back, if they don't get at least Carlos Williams back for the run game, they're going to have issues because they had no offense last week. No offense. Now, granted, that defense that the Titans played was probably one of the most respected defensive coordinators there is, and
Dick LeBeau.
Yep. So, I mean, I got to give credit there to that. I mean, Dick LeBeau is an amazing defensive coordinator, so it doesn't surprise me that Tennessee's defense is as good as they are, just on scheme alone. But they just seemed like Buffalo couldn't do anything for three. I mean, they punted on their first 6 possessions.
Yeah.
That's brutal. That is brutal. And then Tyrod just started running and took over, and it looks like he sprained his MCL on the horse collar tackle on that big, 3rd and 23 that he converted.
Yeah.
And everything. Yeah, I mean, they need more help than, thankfully 7-Eleven, Chris Hogan there. He was open, and he helped. But nobody else really did much of any help. I can tell you that much. The Bills' penalties did come down a lot, which I was really happy with. Oh, and since we're on the Bills one, I guess I can do for a win. Yeah, we'll shorten that up because it wasn't that great of a win. I guess this is more aptitude for this.
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
That's more how I feel this week about that one. Okay, we were supposed to win. I was hoping it wasn't going to be such a brutal fight, but look at Denver's been doing these brutal fights every single week. I don't know. And I thought the offensive depth for the Bills was a lot better, but their offensive line is just atrocious. And we'll see next week with this how this injury with Taylor progresses. Of course, I ordered my Tyrod Taylor jersey after the game because it finally got me to the point where I was like, okay, I think he's the real deal. I really think he's the real deal, and I haven't bought a quarterback jersey in a while.
Yeah.
I've gotten some for gifts. I got a Fitzpatrick one for a gift and a Manuel one for a gift. But I haven't bought one myself, I don't think, since maybe Flutie. That's how far back. So if he doesn't play Sunday, I'll have gotten my Tyrod Taylor jersey in time to wear it for him not to play. Yeah. First world problems, I know. Rams 10, Packers 24. I guess the only note from there is Aaron Rodgers was intercepted for the first time at home in 60 years.
587 attempts and 49 touchdowns since he's been intercepted.
At home.
Yeah.
And 2. He dropped 2.
Yeah.
Oh, the Rams are pesky.
Yeah. A lot of people were saying that could have been a sneaky game where they could have
a trap game.
Yeah. But
at home though, in Lambeau. Gurley though, if the Rams could really just figure out this whole offense thing.
Yeah.
They have this defense
they have some potential to hurt some people this year, I think. So
yeah.
They can sneak up on some people.
Oh yeah.
So.
Cardinals 42, Lions 17.
Detroit's a mess.
Man.
0-5.
Oh, are they the only winless team?
I think they are. I'm pretty sure. I didn't.
The Titans actually won a game?
Not sure.
I'm not sorry, not the Titans, the Texans.
Yeah, Texans won one. I think the first week they won.
Oh, did they? Okay.
I think so.
Okay. I know the Titans won one.
Let's look.
So the Lions. There was another team where I was wondering if they won one. And why am I not seeing who that would be in my mind? No, I guess that would just be the Lions. Yeah. Well, the Lions and the Texans for some reason, I don't know.
I think they won one the first week.
I feel like they won one, but then I felt like that. I thought the Lions did at some point too.
I don't know. I noted that they were 0-5, so I think.
Yeah, the Cardinals had a little blip the week before with the Rams beating them barely, and now all of a sudden, and then they come right back out and they're just like, yeah, that was The Cardinals are scary. They're very scary. They look like they could do some damage.
There we go.
On that, well, Jay, and benching Stafford. I mean, what did he do? He threw like 3 picks in the first half.
Yeah, three picks. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
man. You tend to wonder what's going on with that.
Who are we questioning now? Houston.
Texans,
right?
yeah, Houston Texans.
Do-do-do.
Do.
Well, you can continue on, really.
Okay.
New England and Dallas.
Well,
That wasn't really much to talk about there, I don't think.
bring on Matt Castle as quarterback for the Cowboys. Although, one thing I did see in that game that I'm really glad happened, the referees finally called that stupid little pick play that
Yes.
the Patriots.
I did see that. Too.
Oh, man. I was like, finally, start calling that crap.
Yep.
If it's I feel like they've built a decade of and 4 Super Bowls and a decade of dominance on that friggin' little pick play.
Yeah.
That just drives me nuts. Drives me completely nuts. That's so annoying. The Cowboys hung in there. You know, they made their own mistakes.
Yeah. In the beginning, I thought it was going to be.
They got to Brady a lot.
Yeah.
They got to Brady a lot. So the Patriots definitely looked less dominating than they have in weeks before,
Yeah.
where Brady's just back there statuesque throwing stuff. He looked a little bit more like, I don't want to get hit this week type of thing. Denver 16, Raiders 10. A lot of people actually thought the Raiders would be kind of an upset type of pick.
Yeah. I was close to picking them in that game. I knew they were going to be. They're pesky.
Yeah, there's that pesky thing. I don't know who I picked for my upset last week. I don't even know who I picked for my upset.
Houston's 1-4.
Oh, they did win one. Okay.
I'm trying to get it here, but.
Oh, I'll have to go back and listen to last week's podcast to find out who the upset was. Or maybe it was
I got it
Tennessee.
right here.
Maybe it was
I don't know.
Tennessee.
I think the first week they won for some reason.
The first week.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the first weeks right here. Oh yeah, did the Chiefs beat? No, they beat the Chiefs, didn't? Or the Chiefs? Is that the Chiefs only win? That was the other team. The Chiefs have won one, haven't they?
Yeah.
I thought they won week 1, didn't they?
Yeah.
So where are the Texans' first win? Where was their win? Week 3, they beat the Bucks 19-9.
Ah, okay, there it is. All right.
Yeah. So, okay, so everybody's off the schneid
Except for
Detroit.
yes.
It's funny. Manning with Denver now has not thrown a touchdown in 4 games in his career with Denver, and they've won all 4.
Yeah.
One of them was Buffalo last year.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But everybody's so worried about it, but you just sit there and go, well, why? They're winning.
Yeah.
It's hard to get worried about something when you're winning.
All right. Yep.
It's like that's
true.
In the Raiders, well, they got a ways to go, but there it is. As you can see, they're not an easy out.
Yeah.
They're definitely pesky, as Jay would say.
Yes.
Pesky. 49ers and Giants. Quite an ending to that game.
Yeah.
Quite an ending. Yeah. That was
Giants snuck away with one there, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. They might actually be looking to take over that division.
Yeah.
With the way they're going. I mean, that's looking kind of.
If they can stay consistent. They haven't been consistent so far this year, so.
Yeah.
Offensively, anyway.
No, they're kind of and Beckham's got like a little hammy, and so does the other wide receiver, Randall. Mm-hmm. He was a little bit of hammy too. So,
yeah.
Actually, the 49ers didn't play too bad. Actually,
no. They looked, I didn't actually think it was going to be that close of a game, to be honest with you, but-
The terrible thing is that the Giants tight end Fells there looks like his career's over
Oh, really?
with
I didn't even
MRSA.
know that. Oh, yeah, the MRSA thing.
Oh,
yeah.
they say all the surgeries they've taken part of his foot.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
and they might have to take more. So it pretty much looks like his career is over with.
Yeah. That's what ended Greg Lloyd's career with Pittsburgh.
Was it
Yep. The same thing. Ankle injury. Ended up getting MRSA.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's not like they were making like it was a new thing on the.
Well, I've heard it
thing the
before.
other day.
I remember when the Bucks a couple of
Been
years
around
ago
for years.
had it. They had a big issue with it, and the Rams a few years before that had it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that ended Greg Lloyd's.
Yeah.
You know, I guess we
he
haven't
got
heard it in the fact of it's ended a career.
Yeah, he got that MRSA infection. He got an ankle injury, same thing. And
Did he have to have
MRSA
something removed?
Infection. I don't know, but I know. I think he might have, but
Yeah.
Anyway, it was so.
Well,
bad.
it was toward the end of his career
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
Probably just decided to
But-
talk about a mean mofo. Whew. That was a scary guy. Me and Jay saw that guy up close. Jay was screaming at him from over the thing. Lloyd! Guy didn't even bat an eye. I know it's not funny, but maybe it's too soon. But what is it with Giants players and losing body parts? You know, I mean, Mercer's nothing to laugh about, but I mean that is a little like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
You know, who's the next guy to lose a body part? And they're still winning.
Yeah.
You know, they've gotten it together, but they're late. They're losing leads in the fourth quarter or close to it. They have not won comfortably yet.
Yeah.
They really haven't, and they wouldn't have beat the Bills if it wasn't for the damn referees. Sorry, I don't subscribe. I just call it like it is. The referees suck this year, really bad.
There's been a lot of bad
It's
calls.
the most penalties in the NFL since 1970.
Really?
70, yeah, 1970. I mean, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
They won't let him play.
No.
And Steelers 24, Chargers 20 on Monday night.
We're from the town with that great football team. We cheer the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Steelers go to the West Coast and grab
Yeah.
one from an AFC opponent.
Big win. Big win.
Yeah, big one. It
That
definitely
was,
feels good after the debacle the week before.
Yeah. Yeah. Our new kicker made a field goal from 47 yards. He looked like he was scared to death when he made it. And then he really looked scared to death at the end of the game when he thought he was going to have to kick again.
Yeah.
And then did you see I guess I didn't even catch it last night, and I watched the post game, but there was an issue with the
clock.
The clock.
Yeah.
There's 18 more seconds that should have been on there, and the NFL admitted that there was a mistake this morning.
Yeah.
I read the Steelers paper this morning, and that was in there, but I didn't even catch any of that last night. But
Yeah, well,
So,
again, it's
anyway.
the usual.
hey, we won anyway, so
Yeah. The,
if we
NFL,
had lost because of that, that would have been
the NFL sends something and says, sorry.
yeah, yeah,
Sorry we messed up your whole season.
yeah,
Possibly.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, and then on the flip side, I mean, you still would have had to do a kickoff to San Diego.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, and as
So-
a Bills fan with the Music City Miracle, which I've had enough
Yeah.
of this week playing the Titans, that anything can happen. But I mean,
Yeah, I mean, but still, I mean,
yeah, it could have.
that was a big screw up.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
anyway,
something for the Chargers to hang their hat on, and
yeah,
when they don't make the playoffs,
yeah,
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think it's gonna be. They're not gonna make the playoffs by a game type of thing. So, I think it'll be all right. I think
Yeah,
the Chargers
probably.
are gonna fall like 8-8 or 8-8 could be just one game out of the
Yeah.
playoffs in the AFC the way it's going.
yeah, could be.
That
Wild card spots are going to be
the Bills are in sixth spot right now for the wild card. So it's
long way to go. though.
yeah, long way to go. Unfortunately, with the quarterback situation in Buffalo after Taylor, if Taylor doesn't play the next two games, Buffalo could be in real trouble. Thank God we have the bye in like 2 weeks, and we had to go to London. I'd get up at 9 a.m. to watch that game. And then on top of it, it's not going to be broadcast on television.
Really?
It's the first only internet game in the NFL history. they're going to only broadcast it on Yahoo. Yahoo paid
Really?
to broadcast it. Yes, you
Yeah.
have to open up a Yahoo app to watch it. Yay. Could you make my
Crazy.
life any more complicated other than
Right,
getting up
that's
at 9
crazy.
a.m.? Although the only good thing is watching it at 9 a.m., by the time the 1 o'clock games start, I'll be able to just go on with my day.
Yeah.
Won't have to pay attention to the rest of the games if I don't want.
Yeah.
They finally let Michael Vick be Michael Vick
Yeah.
in the last 2 drives, which,
Yeah, and Le'Veon Bell is just a monster. So.
well, yeah, I mean, you got that, and just let Michael Vick listen.
Yeah.
What do you got to lose? Just let him go and do his thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But this week is going to be a
The
rough one for you
Wildcat
guys.
unveiled a little Wildcat
Yeah.
action there.
You got to let Mike be Mike.
That was good.
Winners and losers. I'll start with my losers. Even though Buffalo win, if this injury holds and we lose Taylor for a couple of weeks, it's going to be the Bills. I have the Bills on there because of that. It could be huge because he was the whole offense last week. Seattle, who knows why they lost that lead. The Lions, just because they're the Lions, they're 0-6.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, it's like salt in the wounds. I mean, it's like they're 1-5, 1-4, and now they lose Jamal Charles for the season. And the Chargers, because the Chargers, just losing at the end there, and they can't seem to catch much of a break either. Your losers?
Kansas City, Dallas, Baltimore, and Seattle, and Detroit also. Yeah.
Detroit's going to take a while to get off the losers list.
Yeah.
My winners, Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, letting Mike Vick be Mike Vick. Bills, because they squeaked that. I mean, they basically only played offense in one quarter
Yeah.
last week. The Colts, because Hasselbeck has come in and done really well. Again, 2 division foes too. Regardless, it's 2 division foes,
Yep.
and he's kept them winning. The Bengals, for that comeback, I mean, I know you don't believe in them, but I've been riding the Bengals bandwagon. And the Giants for it looks like for finally coming back and winning a fourth quarter game instead of being on the other end of that.
Mm-hmm.
So your winners?
Pittsburgh, Buffalo, for the same reasons. Green Bay just keeping it rolling. Cleveland for going down to Baltimore and beating them in their own house.
Yeah.
And Chicago for beating KC at a really tough place to play. That was a good one.
Yeah, I was the Bears and the Browns. I just felt to me it was just like you kind of felt like you cut if there was like an MMA fight, it was like they went into the match fighting a guy with no arms and no legs.
Yeah, yeah.
But a win's a win.
Yeah.
In this league.
I just think they're I don't know.
My main winner, I vote, is the Colts because of that. Hasselbeck being able to do that, and my main loser out of that is Buffalo with this quarterback injury problem, and their health on offense could sink the whole season. Yours?
My winner, I'm gonna go homey and say Pittsburgh for going out to San Diego and doing it with a backup quarterback.
Exactly, I think so.
And some good defense for a change. And my loser, I guess, Detroit.
Just
They're
another one.
Yeah, they're just sucking.
They're spiraling.
Yeah.
They're going down like a brick.
Yeah.
So that's the Week 5 recap. I went 11-3.
10-4.
Tight. It's going to be a tight race at the end until one of us really shirks the bed on that. So that's the week in review.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Bob and John Super Duper Variety Power Hour. Anybody wants to send us their pics or anything, they can at Bob and Jay's Pass Rush at gmail.com, or send us a tweet. Get a hold of us there at Pass Rush Podcast on Twitter. And you can obviously see the show anywhere you can find Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour. Week 6 picks. I'll let you start off. Falcons Saints.
I'm going to go Atlanta.
Yeah, it's hard to take the Saints at this point, even with Julio Jones possibly out.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I'm going with Falcons. Bears, Lions?
I'm going to go Chicago.
Think they got
Get
enough?
on a roll.
They're getting on a roll. I picking the Lions, and this isn't my upset pick. I guess it could be, but it's not. I think the Lions are. It's deadly going against a team that hasn't won at this point.
Yeah,
and it's a divisional thing, interdivisional thing, and you feel like the Lions aren't too far from winning that game.
Yeah,
winning a game. You know what I mean? To get things moving in the right direction. I mean, they're not talentless. You know what I mean? They're not like like the Bears. I feel have more talent problems. Not so much Detroit. You just don't know what's wrong with Detroit.
Yeah,
they're just funky. So I'm picking the Lions on that. Washington against the Jets.
I'm going Jets.
I'm going Jets too. You know, in a weird way, I could see Washington giving them a hard time.
I was just going to say that. I don't know really why I picked the Jets, but I just did. So
well, the Jets at home, I think they they earned the pick. I guess you could say. Week off too,
right?
You know, a lot fresher. Cardinals, Steelers.
Steelers all the way, baby.
If Roethlisberger was back, I
might be. Could be.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cards on this.
They're just going to run it down their throat.
Oh,
they've already shown to be susceptible to that.
Ooh.
So
I'm going to go with the Cards. They're like one of my stay on the bandwagon, stay on the horse till they buck me type of thing. So I'm going to stay with the Cardinals. I think this is going to be a really. I think this is this is going to be a real tough test for the Steelers, but it's not going to shock me if the Steelers beat them by any stretch. I think they have the goods to do it, especially if they really learned from the last two.
Defense is coming around, and Shazier will be back this week too, so that's huge.
Yeah, so the Steelers are getting a bit more healthy, and it looks like they've kind of figured out what to do with Vic, at least in the last part of that game. So
don't count Ben out; he may play.
Ben, the Chiefs and the Vikings. Chiefs and the Vikings.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Going away there, I think.
Yeah, especially with Jamal Charles out.
At home.
Yeah, that Chiefs locker room just has to be walking death right now. Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just, that's got to be hard. I know these teams never quit or anything. It's hard to say that, but they just have to be hanging their head low. One shot after another for them. Bengals at Buffalo.
Well, I'm going to go with Buffalo here. I know
Jay's been riding the Buffalo wave.
Yep. I just got a feeling they're going to. I hate Cincinnati.
Yeah.
No, but
where does that come from?
I think I just think I got a good feeling.
Glad you do, because I don't.
I know you're very negative.
Do
like
after
Thurman's tweet.
After the last 15 years, it's hard to be positive without some proof, without some long season-long proof. And it's been hard to stay. And you know what? I would be more. I think with the whole Taylor, if we were at full offensive strength, if we had Shady McCoy, and we had Watkins isn't a definite, but they think he's pretty much going to play. And they had Taylor, I would be like, yes, I'm picking Buffalo. But, Watkins, possibility he's not going to play, even though it's leaning toward he is. No Shady McCoy, no Carlos Williams as backup. So we're down to Booby Dixon and Boom Heron there or whatever. Two guys with good nicknames, but they're not exactly the running back, double punch. And then possibly EJ Manuel, which I think EJ's come a long way, but when you take all those things away from him, it's still that doesn't make me feel good. So I'm taking the Bengals. Denver at Cleveland.
My upset pick of the week, Cleveland.
Woo! I'm taking Denver.
Yeah.
I know DeMarcus Ware is not going to play this week, but I just think you have to stop Von Miller. And I don't think I think this is where McCown ends up eating it. I'm not, and I feel Denver at any time. Peyton could have a Peyton game. I just don't think he's needed to at this point.
I've been waiting all year. He's my starting fantasy quarterback. He's really hurting me this
I
year.
need a wow button.
Yeah.
I need to get one of those sound effects. Oh, yeah. I was just thinking about that the other day.
He's been killing me this year.
Oh, I can imagine. So I picked Denver on that one. Dolphins, Titans.
I went with Tennessee there.
That was a hard one, to be honest with
Miami's in trouble.
They got the new coach,
Yeah.
which I don't know if
They
that
had a
means
week
anything.
off to think about anything.
And a week off to scratch their heads.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see if that means anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tennessee. I was impressed by Tennessee's defense more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
They have a real
Yeah, they're solid. Yep.
yeah. They can get after the passer.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, the Dolphins could be in trouble. The Texans and the Jaguars.
Jacksonville.
That was a hard one.
It was. There was a lot of hard ones this week.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything easy.
I'm going to
go
take the
Jacksonville.
Texans because I thought they really fought against the Colts. You know what I mean? I think they're that far, and I don't think Jacksonville has enough to. I think Houston finally get over the hump
Yeah.
on that. And, I mean, Blake Bortles against J.J. Watt. I'm taking J.J. Panthers and Seahawks. This one was brutal.
Yeah, it was tough, but I think I give Seattle the edge just because they're home.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So
It's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I marked everything, and then that one I left
Yeah.
for literally
Did too.
until we came down to do the show. It was my last pick because I'm like, at first I knew they were playing in my head, but I didn't. But I didn't know where. I really didn't know where they were playing, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Panthers! I'm going to pick the Panthers." And I saw it was in Seattle. I was like,
Yep.
"They're
That would be a
that's-
huge win if they can pull that off.
Seattle's going to be playing pissed
Yeah.
off too."
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
and Marshawn Lynch comes back.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm taking Seattle also. Chargers, Packers,
Green Bay there.
Packers.
Yeah.
Ravens, 49ers. A little bit difficult one for me to pick. I'm going 49ers.
Yeah, I went with 49ers also there.
At
Just
home.
At home.
And they showed a lot
And they
against the Giants.
Played well last week, yeah.
And I just think I just think the Ravens are just man, they're I mean that's a mash unit.
Yeah.
Not only are they old, but they're just falling to pieces.
Yeah.
So they're in real trouble. Patriots at the Colts.
I went New England, but I think this could be a tight one.
My upset pick is the Colts.
Yeah, good. I hope they do.
Andrew Luck's coming back
I
for this week, I believe. And I mean, even the Patriots are susceptible to doing the same old week in and week out and then get caught.
Yep.
And I think this could be one of those ones.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny because somebody asked Brady, are you going to be like revved up for the revenge? And my thought was like, what revenge? He whooped their ass regardless and went to the Super Bowl. What revenge was there?
All right.
Brady didn't get hurt in any of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In any of the deflating stuff. He still played. He still has a Super Bowl ring.
Yep.
He's still got a hot wife, and he's got a load of money. What's wrong in Brady world? Nothing. So I don't know what revenge could be there. But my upset, I'm taking the Colts.
Good. Yeah.
This is the first time the The Patriots were my lock every single week, I said.
Yeah.
But I said, screw it. I'm going out on a limb. Giants at Eagles.
I went Philly there.
I went Giants.
Yeah. Giants haven't shown me enough yet to pick them, so.
I think when Giants need enough offense, Eli can give it to them. The Eagles, I still don't think. I don't feel that their offense can generate enough against a solid team.
Yeah,
we'll see. And we'll find out. And those are our picks. And as I said before, you can find us at Bob and Jay's Pass Rush at gmail.com and on the Twitter at Pass Rush Pod. Yeah, Pass Rush Podcast. Whew, pause for a moment there. It's like, and those are our picks. If you got some picks, send them in, and you can find us anywhere that you can find Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour. So we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
From Homebrew Studios, this has been Bob and Jay's Pro Football Podcast, brought to you by Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour.